Hey Lifer, so welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me in this video. If you're already a lifer, thank you for coming back. So, as some of you know, I was changing the dynamics of what I was going to talk about on this channel going forward. I am still going to talk about some passive income things, especially things that I'm doing. But I wanted to get a little bit more personal. And so this video, I'm talking about how I was able to leave corporate America at 50 and it not impact me financially. I basically left corporate America and became a full-time entrepreneur. So how did I do that? Because I'm sure there are people out there who are thinking about doing it and want to know really how is it, because I am in the first year of that actually happening. The year will be completed up actually this month because I did it in January. My goal was to leave when I turned 50, and I did that because I'm still 50, but I wanted to leave and do stuff that I was interested in. So being an entrepreneur, working on things, side hustles, I love doing side hustles. That's just me. And to make side hustle money is something that I was doing while I was in corporate America. So that is really a big piece of how I was able to leave, on top of a couple of other things, and we'll get into those now. So first and foremost, I left corporate America because I was ready to go. I was burnt out. I loved working there. I loved the type of work that I did. I worked in anti-money laundering and fraud. I was a certified anti-money laundering specialist. From a fraud perspective, I just love helping people to make sure that your money, wasn't being taken, things like that. Any type of processes that were around trying to just help people stay safe with the money that you worked hard to get. That's what I was doing in this financial institution. But I used to always improve processes in any role that I got in. That was my job. And I sought out different roles like that. And when I came in, I would come into the job, I would do the work that was assigned, whatever projects needed to be done. And once I got that area where it needed to be, the people that were in the area, I was helping them to work smarter, not harder, that type of thing. And then when I left, the area was better than when I first got there. Once I got it to that point, I was ready to go, because I'm not a punch the clock, do the widget type thing over and over and over. I have to have variety in what I do. And once that variety is gone, I'm ready to go. And each time I got to that point, I was probably three to 4 years into the job. And then I would change jobs, within the company. And the company welcomed that. They wanted you to learn as much as you could. So it wasn't like every 6 months or every year I was changing jobs. No, it was about 3 years or so. And I would change roles. And each time that excitement would build back up and I was ready to go at it again. But the last 2 jobs that I got, even though I loved the jobs that I was doing and the people that I was working with, I didn't have that excitement. And that excitement would show up on other jobs where I was just excited to wake up and go to work. It wasn't like that on the last 2 jobs. It was to a point where it seemed like a job. It seemed like a chore. So that's how I knew it was time to move on to something else. Now, with that being said, I had already put into plan how I was going to exit the company when I got to that point, because ultimately I did not want to be working at a company when I was 60, 70 years old. I hate to see people who are still in that position because they either did not manage their money well, or they got in a situation where they couldn't help but bills came about, whether it was medical. You can be put in situations that's not your fault, that it's hard to get yourself out of that particular hole. Everybody goes through, different things, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. Everybody has tribes and tribulations that they go through. Some are worse than others, and I get that. But in my particular, situation, I set up to say that when I get to 50 years old, I want to retire out of corporate America, and I want to work on the different side hustles full time that I'm already making money at. And those different things had been making me money for years, in corporate America. I created my first product back in 2004, and it was a craft product that I was selling in Hobby Lobby. I sold it there for about 3 years, and then brought it out of Hobby Lobby, and I was selling it, directly, to people, to different colleges and things like that. And then once Amazon got going really good, I started selling it, in Amazon. Once I got on the program for FBA. And I've been selling it in Amazon since 2017, and it's sold every day. I'm selling products. This one main product, it sells every week. And so that is a set product. I don't have to do anything, to it except ship in, more quantities of it when it runs low with Amazon. So that was one thing. That's a steady flow of income that I have coming in. I also have rental properties. I've owned as many as three. I sold one off probably about 8 years ago. I still have two. They're paid for. And I have renters, in those properties. So that's another way I have income, coming in. I bought my first property back in 2003. And then every 2 years I was buying another property, and that's how I had three houses. And like I said, one of those I sold a couple of years back. All of them I bought around 40 to 50,000. No, I was not putting down $40,000, $50,000. I got a loan, a mortgage with it. And then and they were all foreclosed homes, so I was getting them at a good value. Now they're worth 3 times as much. If anybody has real estate or even your own personal, primary residence, the value of your house has tripled, which is amazing. Is it worth that? Well, that's what the market is saying, but that's how my rental properties are. So those are two things. So having rental properties, selling on Amazon for products that I have. I also have books, on Amazon. I have 50 plus books that I've created. The majority of them are low content books. Others are books like success organizers and journals to help you tackle your goals, how to set goals properly, how to journal down what you're doing to help you be successful in whatever project that you're working on. I also have books, puzzle books. I have coloring books. I have all types of books on Amazon that bring in income. I have a couple of merch items on Amazon. If you don't know, Merch by Amazon, they have where you can sell shirts and hats and, different things like that. I don't have a lot of them that I have on there. I only have about 25 shirts, and not all of them are selling, but I do have certain shirts that sell all the time. It's usually about 5 of them that sell all the time. And even with the books, the majority of my low content books are not selling. It's my joke books and coloring books and puzzle books that are selling. So even if you have someone that says, hey, I got 500 books, it doesn't mean all 500 books are selling. And my books sold more during the pandemic, because people were stuck in the inside. So they were buying coloring books and puzzle books up left and right. Now the books that sell more are my success organizer and, like I say, my puzzle books and things. So those are three things that I do on Amazon. I sell shirts, I sell books, and then I have individual products. All three of those things bring me income in. I also sell on eBay. I don't sell as much on eBay as I do on Amazon, but I do sell on eBay. I also sell on Etsy. I have digital products that I've created around basic finance. As you know, I was in one of the big three finance companies. I was there 18 years. So I create basic finance videos and helpful documents to try and teach people, on those. I got videos on it as well. If you don't buy the items, check out the videos. They're on the videos too. I try to talk you through all of the things that I talk about in some of those books, some of those digital products. My goal is to try and help you get you where you need to be. So those are the things that I do from a selling point. The other half that helps me from a financial standpoint is I had a 401k that I've moved over to an IRA. So I have 7 IRAs, traditional and Roth. I have 3 brokerage accounts. I have a 529 account, for my son. I have a custodial account for my son. All of those things help you continue to make money. And with my 401k, when I was in corporate America, I didn't know when I first started putting money in it that you could max out the amount of money that you could put in there. I didn't know that. If I had known that, I would have been doing it the entire time that I was putting money in my 401k. I didn't learn about maxing out your 401k until the last 10 years that I was in corporate America. And maxing out now is probably around $30,000. Once you hit 50, they have like a catch-up amount that you can put in there. But if you have the ability to max out your 401k, do it. And at the minimum, if your company is giving you a match, do it. You need to put that money in there to meet the match that they have up there. So if they're matching 1%, 2%, whatever, 5, 6%, at the minimum, put in that amount to get that free money. So I always did that. Any company that I worked in, I was always in my 401k. And then when I changed companies, I looked at, do I want to roll that money from the current company that I'm in, that I was in, to my new company, or do I want to roll it into a IRA? And pretty much I rolled it into an IRA. And then when I left my last company, I rolled all of that into an IRA. So all of that money has been sitting, making money in my 401k and now my IRA. So those are the things that I did to make sure when I was ready to leave that I could leave. So I left at 50. You know that retirement age officially by the government is 59 and a half years old. So if you want to get your 401k money without penalty, or if you're dependent on Social Security, which I am not, I'm just looking at my 401k. Social Security would just be some bonus money that if you want it, you can use it. I'm not dependent on that. My 401k is what I managed to get to a certain level that I know can maintain me when I get to the proper age. And with that, it started out by just putting a couple of $100 in every paycheck. If you don't understand about compound interest and how that works, just go on Google and Google compound interest calculator and put in a certain amount of money. Maybe it's $50 a month, it's $100 a month, and look at how much money you can gain if you continue to put that in on a each paycheck, or monthly basis, whatever it is. You can't be worse off if you put money in versus you not put money in, because the sad part about it is there are people 60, 70 years old that have nothing in retirement and they're still working. And if you don't have to be in that position, I don't want you to be in that position. So hopefully you just listening to me will help you start putting money where you need to put it. Put money in your 401k. Max it out if you can. You don't have to max it out. I'm just saying if you can, do it. IRA. You can have an IRA as well as a 401k, and you can max that out, as well. Either way, just put money in there. And if you're the type of person that have your money automated, like your paycheck is automated coming in, then automate money going to your 401k. Automate money going to that IRA, because if you don't see it, you don't miss it. That type of thing. And it would come out before I even got my paycheck. When my paycheck came, everything had been taken out, by that time. So it was like, okay, this is how much I'm making. You need to do that. That is what helped me get to this particular point. So when I left at 50, all the jobs and all the things that I tell you I was doing on the side, the Amazon, the eBay, the Etsy, all of that stuff was still working. And so I still have the money coming in from that. And I managed my money well to know how much money I needed to pay off whatever it was that I had. The other thing is I wasn't in debt. I didn't have debt from credit cards and things like that. So when I left, the only thing that I had that I ended up paying off was my car. I did buy me a new car because my old car was a 2007 Lexus. And I had that since 2009. I never buy anything brand new. I always buy a car 2-3 years older, just because of the fact that you lose so much value when you drive off the lot. So my 2007 Lexus I purchased in 2009. I finally got rid of it in 2023. I bought me a 2022. And that car was actually a dealer car. The finance manager had been driving it, and it had I forgot how many miles it had on it. I think it was 4,000 miles or something like that. 4,000 miles. I can't remember the total number on it, but it wasn't very high. And it was a year old, but they had to sell it like a, used car, since it was a dealer car. So I bought that, and that's what I'm driving now. Same type of, still, it was another Lexus. Never had any problems with my previous one, so why not go back with the same thing? Haven't had any problems, of course, with this one. But that was the only thing that I had to pay on that was like a loan. My rental properties, they're paid off now because of the renters that's been in them. But I had low interest, on those. 3.75. I refinanced our house back in 2019 or 2020. I refinanced our house. Our interest on our primary house is 1.75. You can't beat that. There is nothing we would do you don't need to refinance anymore. You don't need to do any of that. And those are things that I was prepping to actually do. So if you are wanting to leave corporate America, it boils down to this: plan. And if you want to leave as bad as what some people say, I hate working here, I don't want to do this. To me, if you don't plan properly, you don't really hate your job that much. You can complain. But if you don't put complaint into action to do something, you really are fine with where you're at. Your actions are saying you're okay with being treated however it may be. Whatever reason it is that you want to leave, if you are not putting complaint into action, then it's not bothering you as much as you saying it is, So first and foremost, figure out what it is that you want to do. If you don't have any side hustles, if you don't have any things that's going on, you need to start looking into different things. If you want to do KDP books, I can show you how to do that. It is not hard. There are videos all over. That's how I learn. I watch videos, and I watch quite a few videos, and once you start seeing things are becoming the same with what they're telling you to do on the different videos, then okay, that must be how you do it. Because you know how it is. Let's say that you want to learn how to use a GoPro camera. So you look at one video, they tell you how to do something. You look at another video, they tell you how to do something. By the time you get to the fourth and fifth video, it's going to all start to be the same, especially if they're telling you how to do it the right way. Don't just go off of one video, on how to do something. Do your research. But you need to have money coming in before you jump ship, unless you got some other money somewhere else. You don't want the lottery, whatever. That wasn't my situation. My situation was that I planned for me to be able to take the leap that I did. I was ready, and literally 5 to 7 years before I did it, my emergency fund was, I had like 3.5 years worth of money in my emergency fund. And when I say 3.5 years, if you know what your emergency fund is, your emergency fund is supposed to be at minimum 3 to 6 months. I had about 3.5 years, that I had put in there, that I was investing, that I could get to easily if I needed to. But I didn't want to be in a position of where I got out and then it was like, okay, now what am I going to do? No, have your parachute, be prepared. I understand all these people that's like, talking about, yeah, I lived in my car because I wanted it so bad. No, I don't want anything that bad. I just don't. That to me, that doesn't make sense. It's different if you're in that situation because things are happening to you versus you putting yourself in that situation. I don't want anything bad enough that I would sleep in my car, to do it, especially if it's not something that I have to do. That doesn't make sense to me. There is always a way to prepare. And there's so much knowledge now on the internet that you can find out about anything that you want if you take the time and research. And I just tell people this: if you are the type of person that you're excelling on your job, whether you're in corporate America, whatever it is, if you're one that they're always saying, oh, you're great at this, you're great at that, oh, you're so good, you're a top associate and all that. If you are a top associate for somebody else, you can be a top person for yourself if you choose to be. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and not everybody should be an entrepreneur, because some people just need guidance and they work better in structure from somebody else. Nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with working in corporate America. It just wasn't for me anymore. I had been there a long time, and I love my time there. But now that I am doing this entrepreneur thing, I love it because I get to call the shots. If something doesn't go the right way, it's on me. Being an entrepreneur, you will work harder, for it. You just will. And if you don't have passive income and things coming in, if you get sick or you take a break, if you don't have passive income, you don't have any money coming in. It's not like being in corporate America, taking a vacation day and still getting paid for it. No, it's not like that. And I know there's some of you watching, you don't have that situation anyway. If you're working in certain companies where you don't get sick days or you don't get vacation days, that type of thing, you're not salaried. It's different being a salaried person versus, non-salary. It's a big difference in it. A big difference in pay, big difference in whether you can do overtime or not. It's so many different things. But it just boils down to the point. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired in corporate America or whatever job that you're in, make a change. What's stopping you from making a change? No one can stop you from making your parachute and getting it prepared for your next step. It's a new year. It's a new time. You need to make the change that you've been saying that you want to do. Don't go a whole nother year wishing that this is going to happen. And I tell people, you can plan, you can have goals, but if you don't have a plan with the goals, it's just a wish. That's all it is. And wishes don't just come true. You have to put some effort behind whatever you're doing. So figure out what goals you want to do. put a plan behind those goals, execute that plan so you can accomplish what you want to and make 2025 your year. I'm rooting for you. I hope you continue to root for me. If there's anything that I can do to help you, drop a comment. Just let me know what it is that you're planning to do, and hopefully other people in the community can chime in on it as well. I look forward to all the videos we're going to go through this year, and I'll just try to give you my expertise on how it was for me in corporate America, what I did well, things that I look back on that I could have did differently, and hopefully it can help you out. See you in the next video. Yeah, yeah, oh, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, oh.